I have done the most disjointed recording I have ever done. It's just like I would be in the middle of a sentence and all of a sudden my sentence would kind of go. So I don't know what is going on. And I was just saying as you were coming up the stairs, normally if I have one that's this disjointed, I just turn it off and start again. So this is definitely a case of, wow, the bees are out here buzzing around on the balcony. The geraniums are looking beautiful. The laundry's hanging on the line. This is one of the ways we avoid using the tumble dryer, which we do have an electric tumble dryer that never gets used, and there's nothing wrong with that. So I'm going to stop because I'm about to cough. Okay, there is that much pollen in the air that I immediately started coughing. Huge flies and buzzy bees and beautiful geraniums. Now I'm about to go upstairs to the art studio and reacquaint myself with that space, and then we'll catch up with it from here. So here we go, up the stairs again. This one doesn't have auxiliary handrails. This just has normal handrails, and it's a bit narrower as far as the width. That's one of Mark's paintings. And up we go. Slowly. And there's another one. I'm moving slowly, both because I need to. I love that one. And that one is a little strange, I'll be truthful with you. I'm going to see if I can change it. Oh, I just wobbled. Sorry about that. And Mark makes dioramas with toys sometimes. My big sweetie. All right, here we go. Holding the handrail again. You'll notice the levels of the floors. You can't have a house that's 300 years old in one section and 250 in another section and not think that you're going to have issues with floors. I haven't been up here in quite a while. so I won't pretend that I am constantly up here. I'm going to take a break here, turn around, and get myself seated. This is going to end up being a series of small little clips that I stitched together. I can't pretend I've been up here lately. I haven't. And I've just turned around and I have an art cart behind me that has jars of paint, studio acrylics. And if you'll notice, there's dust on the lids. That's how long it's been since I've been up here. Okay, so I've brought one of the other cameras up here in case I wanted to set things up, and start showing you the kind of things that I do to prepare a canvas before I start painting. And over there behind the door are more tubes and tubes and tubes and jars of paint. And you'll notice there's, hang on, I've got one over here too. Yogurt tubs. They're fabulous for mixing up a blend of paints. Love that. Okay. Behind the sliding door here, to the right of the sink, is a toilet. Very handy to have that up here in the studio because I'm on the top floor. So to you Americans who are a large percentage of our audience, I'm on the third floor. And it's a wonderful studio with wonderful light coming in. And I'm swinging around a little more. And as you can see, the skylight just is wonderful. Oh, we've got bird schmutz up there. We need to clean that off. But what's wonderful is this time of year, as soon as the swifts come back. Oh, right across the street. The neighbor across the street. She has birds building nests in the top of her chimney. Ooh. That'll be a mess when the chimney sweep comes. There'll be a big clump that comes flopping out. I know the first time our chimney was swept right after we bought the house, there was just so much stuff, and it was multiple birds' nests that had been sitting up there for a while. Now, up on the rack, Mark built that rack and mounted it against the wall, so he's using it right now just to give an idea of what he's got that we're going to start taking pictures of and putting online. But it's actually there to mount a picture when you're working on it. Mark normally uses an easel. I don't always use an easel anymore. I used to years ago. Most of the time now, I do it flat because I do a lot of abstracts where I'm pulling and scraping and squeegeeing and doing movements like that. So there's not so much of the fine painting, sort of delicate little touching up things that I do. Back in the day, and I'm talking about before I even met Mark, decades ago, I used to paint in a more realistic style. There's two examples. And again, back then, I used an easel. I don't anymore. I don't know if I'll ever go back to that. Right now, it feels like I've evolved into a different place in my life, where abstract feels like whatever emotion that I am sensing, I can squidge it out onto the canvas and swirl it around and move it around and express it better. When Mark built his studio, he intentionally, because the ceiling is so high, he intentionally created a space up there where we could put extra canvases and extra boxes of this, that, and the other. So it's a wonderful storage space to have up there. And these are the original, look how old those beams are. You can see the chisel marks from the, yeah, I suppose it would be an axe, yeah. And they were so dark brown and they were gloomy. So when he did this, there is a video of him on here creating this studio. So I'll have to link it to this. I'll have to link it to this today. And what's nice about this is he painted it a light gray and it lifted it. It doesn't make it feel like you've got great big clunky brown beams that are about to drop down on your head. No, they're not. Anything that's up there on that wall that is bright and colorful and soft and pretty and things, those are Mark's. He does the most beautiful illustrative style of paintings. I love his work. It's really wonderful. Mine are the abstracts, and you'll be seeing a lot more of those in the coming weeks. So, I'm not sure if he's going to get back up here and paint much. Let me just take a pause for a second. And now that I'm back up here, I'm going, oh, can't wait to get started again. So, over the next week or so, you're going to see a lot more artistic movement. There's one of Mark's paintings too. He's got a G.I. Joe or something like that sitting on his desk. He makes the most darling paintings with hot air balloons and little dogs and lighthouses and fanciful flying things and clouds that are like little balls. I love these things. I absolutely love his work. It's really beautiful. And then you've got things like that. I've had time to think about what we were talking about last week when we were sitting out by the lake, and we were saying we weren't sure if we should keep this channel going because we just thought we were too boring and no one would be interested. We got some lovely comments and we got some new followers. It's very slow. It's very tick, tick, slow, slow. That's fine. That's fine. But I wanted to especially thank the people who commented that there's nothing wrong with having a gentle channel that talks about a slow, gentle life and talks about everyday things. And, you know, we're not flashy. We don't do anything big woo. We're just living our life here, our best life. We absolutely love it here. And we think that we wouldn't have this level of peace and quiet. And it's like right now we're having one of those days where there's very few tractors riding through town and interrupting the peace and quiet. But we like a village life. We chose a village life specifically so that we weren't isolated and out in the country. That made us feel better, so that if there was ever a drama, you open the front door and stick your head out and go, "Au secours, au secours, you know, I need some help, please." Someone would come to your assistance, and that's a lovely thing. Living in a village is a lovely thing. Okay, I've run out of things to say, and I forgot to bring tea bags up here because I do have a kettle up here so that I can fill the kettle, make myself a cup of tea, and sit and be quiet while I paint. And I've got, all right, hang on, I'll turn this around. Look at you, bless your heart. You're out of breath. I have done the most disjointed recording I have ever done. It's just like I would be in the middle of a sentence and all of a sudden my sentence would kind of go. So I don't know what is going on. And I was just saying as you were coming up the stairs, normally if I have one that's this disjointed, I just turn it off and start again. And I've done too much. I probably have 15 to 20 minutes. I'm not re-recording it. No, I'm absolutely not. So this will be a set of snippets. Snippets will get stitched. So you're going to have snippet stitching. Anything you want to add?
To what?
To the hello today?
Hi, 28 degrees today.
That's why I'm so hot.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
As insulated as this is,
it holds the heat.
Well, the heat rises, so
yeah. But it's still cool. No, where I got hot was I went outside on the roof terrace.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll be hot out there.
And the plane tree stuff is floating around in the air. And I started coughing.
It should be a little bit less than it should be.
No, it's still there. It's still there. I started coughing. I think I'm going to end this now.
Okay.
All right. Say goodbye, everybody. And I might come downstairs before you go bike packing and today or tomorrow. Tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow. That's a tomorrow thing that I can stitch in for next week. So bye, everyone. I need lunch.
Cool.
And a cup of tea.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Bye. Turn around and say bye.
Bye.
Wave.
No.
Look how cute you are in your red stripy shirt.
It's an angry Breton. Black and white for a normal Breton, and then red and white for an angry Breton.
Or navy blue and white.
No, red for angry Breton.
Okay.
Or a red toque.
Yes.
Not a toque. I don't know what they call them over here. Chapeau.
Okay. Chapeau and all. Looking at the red paint right there. There you go. Red paint. Okay.
Field of Dreams.
Bye.